the collaboration, Stoney Point, the album.
First time me and Dem met was last year, man. Like, the homie had a residency at this Valley bar called the Little Rock and shit, and that was just like the local spot we would go and just DJ, have fun, get wasted, fucking party and shit. And he was out there, Demrick showed up, and we just got to chopping it up, man, got along, and we just knew we had to like work in the studio, get up in there and cut some tracks, man. Right before I started working on my Hoppa and Friends record, he did some shows with us and stuff, and I was just got to meet him, got to see him rock and shit, and he was cool people. I was like, yo, man, fucking come by the studio. Like, let's build some shit. I'm working on this record.
One time after his set, he came up to me, he was like, yo, you should come to the studio. Let's work on a song for his Hoppa and Friends project. I was like, okay, shit. He's in the Valley, I live in the Valley, right down the street. So we'll go over to the studio, Broken Complex Studios, and we just smoked out like crazy.
And he came by and we cut like a couple records, and they both went on my Hoppa and Friends project like immediately. And after that, it was just like, yo, let's keep fucking working, man. This shit's dope. You know, we came up with the routine. He'd come to the studio.
And we did the same routine every day. We would go to either the Mexican spot that was his little like hometown area spot he always liked to go to, or we go to sushi. And we just eat, have some drinks, go back, smoke up. We just start every session off with a conversation, hanging out first before we start making music. Then just go in the studio and get lit and see what happens, man. It's not rocket science, man. This shit's supposed to be fun.
And it was all organic, man. It was just for fun. You know what I mean? It was like we didn't really have the crazy, didn't really know where it was gonna end up. We just started making more songs and it started buzzing more. And now we're like so blessed to have the opportunity to be touring. Like touring that project is crazy. So yeah, man, it's been a cool year, man. Like, well, the dope shit with like making records with Demrick is we're not trying to like follow trends or like, you know what I mean, stay on top of what's hot, whether it be like production-wise or trying to write shit that's just like super catchy. It's like we just want to make dope hip-hop shit. We're like, let's take it back to just hard breaks, like drum breaks and just dope shit. And I was like, I'm a big fan of like sampled beats and shit, but on this record, I was adamant about not sampling. I was like, let's try to recreate that feel and that sound, but like just through the keys and through like, you know, like actually playing out all the instruments and shit. So that's something I'm real proud about on that record. It's like, it still has that feel. I mean, the drums are still like breaks, chopped up and shit like that, but like nothing's lifted from a record, no loops, no nothing like that on the record. So that's a dope aspect of it that I'm proud of for sure. I'm not trying to like be too boastful and shit, but I like the whole record, man. I'm a big fan of the whole record. I guess the standout joints would be like, shit, we got a joint called Nobody's Safe. That's got like Jaren, Swizz, and Mad Child on it, and everybody just beast modes on it. It's just bars and shit, and that's like, I'm a big fan of that. And it's just got a raw, gritty beat I love. That'd probably be one of my favorite joints off the record. And then, shit, Find a Way is another dope joint. There's a lot of like keys on the record that I like. And it's just the overall tempo and vibe. Like, it's got a solid feel to the whole record. So I love the whole thing, shit.
So you have that pressure of people non-stop asking you questions. When is this gonna happen? When is that gonna happen? So that's like the hardest thing of this whole game. It's doing something that no one else does and making it work.
So our saxophone player got fired by Mr. Brown. He couldn't play on the song, so he was just standing there like, okay, I guess I won't play. So at that time, like me and Raphael was just like, oh God, is he gonna tell us not to play?
I don't completely make music just to satisfy my fans, but I don't solely make music for myself either. I found a happy medium of understanding what people want to listen to and what I want them to hear.
We've been just recording and filming our journey, because I was always just a filmaholic. I was always just film, which now I'm glad I've been doing it because we have hundreds of tapes.